Бәріне сәлем. Менің атым Амир.
Менің атым Тамирис.
Бүгін бізде подкасттың екінші шығарылымы.
И в гостях у нас студенты из MIT. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi there, my name is Jay, and I'm a first-year student at MIT. I'm originally from California and moved to Boston earlier this year to study math and computer science, artificial intelligence.
My name's Sammy. I'm also a first year. I'm from Central PA, and I'm interested in studying chemical engineering.
So I wanted to ask from you, do you like the food here?
The food here is so much better than at home. Schools do not have good food at all, so I've been pleasantly surprised. I love the cultural food, so I've enjoyed eating here.
Every day we're really excited to walk down to the canteen and see what they're serving, and to chat with the students at lunch while just chowing down on delicious food.
So, what's your favorite dish so far?
Ooh.
Balsac.
Yes, and Monty.
That's cool.
Balsac and Monty.
So I want to ask, what's your favorite course at MIT and why? So why do you like it?
For me, my favorite course so far, we've only had one semester, has been 511-1, which is our intro to general chemistry class. As a chemical engineer, obviously I love chemistry, so it was a really fun class for me, but I also had the opportunity to help a lot of my friends, and I think teaching gives a new perspective of it. Next semester, the class I look forward to the most is organic chemistry, because then you get a little bit more of how bio and chemistry interact. So I find that cool.
Nice. I really want to take chemistry courses at MIT too. My favorite course this past term was probably a data science course that I took, because it really showed me how the computer science techniques that I had learned in high school can be applied to the real world. So we created a simulation on US election data and a simulation on modeling temperature change. So seeing how these real world topics can actually be tackled by computers and algorithms.
So how do you balance the academics and the extracurricular activities in your basic life?
How do I balance academics and extracurricular activities? So there are some people at MIT who choose to devote their time to a lot of many different clubs and activities. I've tried to instead narrow it down to a few specific ones that I've become really passionate about. So I joined a club called Amphibious Achievement, where we teach students about academics and athletics. And then I'm also this term going to be joining a research team, and I'm going to be working with my dorm's government. So instead of joining 50 different activities, I chose 3 that I'm really excited about and that I'm going to devote my time to. So that way I'll also have time to study hard and spend time with friends.
What about you, Sammy?
For me, I'm part of the field hockey team, so that takes up a lot of my time in the fall. And MIT has a really good practice where they have no classes from 5 to 7. So that's when we practice. So I rarely missed anything for practice. Sometimes I would just have to leave early to go take a test, maybe at 7 o'clock. The coaches are really understanding for me. And then I'm also part of a club called Little Beavers. And that's where we are paired up with children with autism and their families, and we help them get active.
That's great.
That's cool. So I think that we all want to know what is the most challenging aspect of studying at MIT, and how did you overcome that?
Do you want to go first?
I can go. So one of the most challenging aspects is balancing it all, specifically because we only take 4 to 5 classes, which at other universities you can take 5 to 6 plus. Our classes require a lot of us. Our problem sets or our homework require a substantial amount of work. So the hardest thing, I think, is being able to time manage your skills. If you don't know how to time manage, you're going to be stressed all the time. But I find if you create a schedule, for me, I wrote out my plan for the week, and for me that helped get me focused.
Yeah, the problem sets, the homework assignments can be really challenging. sometimes you're just staring at a problem for an hour and you're like, I don't know how to begin this. But I think asking for help is really important and very helpful, a good thing to do. So I could ask Sammy, one of my friends. I could go to office hours, ask the professors, send an email. And there are so many resources, people to get you started on a problem if you don't know how to do so.
So, how has MIT shaped your career goals
How has MIT shaped my career goals?
and aspirations?
So I still do not know what I want to do after I graduate, to be completely honest. To be 100%, I don't know if I'm going to major in math, AI, CS, as I said I would. But it really does give you the opportunity to explore a lot of different disciplines. So I had mentioned that I'm going to be working with a research team this next semester that's going to be looking at artificial intelligence with mapping out human knowledge. And I'm really excited about that, and it might tell me whether this is really a direction I want to pursue or if I want to change my mind and try something else. But MIT also encourages and even forces you to take classes in a wide variety of disciplines. So we all have to take physics, chemistry, biology, math, and then a lot of courses in the humanities as well, so that we're exposed to a lot of different areas and can pick what we're most passionate about.
For me, since halfway through junior year of high school, your guys' version of 10th grade, I knew I wanted to become a biomedical engineer. So MIT does not have biomedical engineering as a major. So I initially thought I wanted to do biological engineering, but as I've taken more chem classes, I've been more interested in chemical engineering. So
Chemistry's fun.
I think that MIT, we've only had one semester of it, so we haven't had, and for me, feel like it took up a lot of time, so I wasn't able to do any undergraduate year ups, and my schedule was, I wasn't able to explore as much as I probably should have, and I think it's going to be ever evolving. As the more experience I get, the more it'll shape it, and I hope that I really like hands-on, and MIT does hands-on from the very beginning. So I think that's really going to be important to me to see if I actually like the hands-on.
So, can you please share some study tips if you have some? Because I think that a lot of students now need them, especially in the periods of exams and stuff.
Yeah, so I think study tips is both an easy and hard topic all in one, because I think that we can say to study, we can give you ideas for how to study, but you're going to have to find out ways that you are study best. For me, when I need to memorize something, I make a Quizlet. So if I had to memorize terminology for a biology class, making a Quizlet, like flashcards, is really good for me. But if for me, also breaking it down into smaller steps is important for me. And another thing that I like is just more practice, especially with the math problems, is just getting more practice. And especially in high school, being able to do it yourself and not just copying and pasting is very important.
Yeah, spend the time actually understanding what's going on, especially in math, what's going on behind the formula and why it's true, so that you can apply it to other contexts, and it will make learning future topics easier, I promise you. I would also say, I'm sure you've heard it before, but don't procrastinate, right? If you have to study for a test and the test is in a week, maybe start in a day or two instead of the night before the test, and then find some sort of management system to keep track of all of your tasks. If you can keep track of it mentally, that's great, but a lot of people have a hard time with that. So maybe Google Calendar will be a good tool for you, or writing it in a physical notebook, but making sure you remember all the things you have to do.
So I wanted to know about your campus, how it's look like, and what do you have there? So
our campus is in a city, obviously. It's in Cambridge, so it's right across from Boston. It's a relatively small campus in comparison to a lot of other universities. I really like that. I think it would be a little bit more of a hassle if I had to walk farther. Most of our classrooms, we like to say, are in one building. Technically, there are sub-buildings in that, but most of the buildings that your classes are in, you can walk to without having to go outside, except to cross the main road. Do you want to talk more about the residential?
Yeah, so I feel like our campus is split up into two pieces. There is West Campus, which is all of the dormitories where the students live for their 4 years, and on the east side is the main academic building, and then other academic buildings as well. So there's a street called Dorm Row, which has 7 of the 10 residential dorms, just one after another. And I think that's really nice because it's super easy to walk from my dorm to any of my friends, and it feels super safe any time of the day or night.
So, continuing the topic of the campus and stuff, can you please tell us more about the dorms and the culture of the dorms?
So MIT is very unique in its dorm culture. At a lot of universities, there may not be very variation within dorms. They might just be, oh, this one is more 4 people per room, this one is more 2 people. But at MIT, they are very different. Each one has their own culture. So for me, I live in Baker, and that is a lot of the athletes and the people that are going to be in sororities and fraternities the following year. So it is active, I would say, within the social. And it's more, I don't want to say, yeah, it's just like active, like people want to make connections with friends on, I don't know how to describe it in a pause. I really like it. It gives me a place where you have to find your people. We have a thing called Campus Preview Weekend. So we have the opportunity to get to know each one of these dorms. So it does have like a high athlete culture in like people who have similar personalities to that.
Mm-hmm. So I live in Next House. Next House is known to be one of the more academic, a little bit nerdier dorms, but it also has one of the tightest communities on campus, I would argue. It's split into 8 different wings. So out of the 4 floors, for each of the 4 floors, there's an east side and a west side. And you get to know the people who are in your wing very, very closely. A lot of the other dorms are actually split into different wings and pieces. So, for example, one of the dorms, Burton Connor, has each of the different floors that has a different theme. So one of the floors is called it's the British floor, and they decorate it with a lot of British flags. Another floor, they call themselves the Toucans, and they just have fun with it and really have a strong culture. There are some dorms that are suite style, some dorms, meaning that there's a common room with a bunch of smaller bedrooms along the side. There are some dorms that are corridor style, where there's a long hallway and then bedrooms along the side and then a huge lounge somewhere nearby.
So, how's the people different here and at the MIT, or like the qualities of people and how they behave?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Are the qualities of people different? You know, people are people everywhere. I feel like when we first arrived here at Shokan, people thought that we were going to be very different, but ultimately we are teenagers. Mm-hmm. You all are teenagers. Yeah, we're what, 3 years older than you guys?
Yeah.
So I would argue that we're actually very similar. We have a lot of the same hobbies, same taste in movies, same taste in music, and that was really nice to see, and it was easy to connect with people here, I think.
One of the biggest differences that I've noticed is people here are a lot more welcoming. I think in America, if we were to have a teacher that would come into one of our schools, I don't think the students would have been as receptive. So that's something I really appreciated, was how much the students took to us and how you guys were interested in us, but you guys also responded when we showed interest in you.
We appreciate you.
Thanks.
We appreciate you too. So, you've been teaching here for a month now.
Yeah.
So, was it hard to connect with students and the language barrier here?
I would say that almost all of the students know English very well. So teaching wasn't too different than teaching in the United States. Some of the teachers don't speak English, so coordinating what the lesson plans would look like occasionally did get a little bit tricky. But, I think they all worked out, and hopefully the students enjoyed the lesson even if it's not exactly what I had planned for.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the language barrier posed little issues with students. I think with some of the younger ones, we even had a conversation with some first graders on the first day, which is absolutely crazy, that they knew how to communicate with us, because I definitely did not know another language in first grade. Not even a little bit now, but.
So, do you study like new words on Russian or Kazakh language? What about you, Sami?
I have a note app on my phone that I have a list of all. For me, I suck at pronunciation, so Kazakh is actually easier for me to pronounce.
More than Russian?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So my host family taught me more Kazakh words. So I'm trying to get them a little bit into my lingo as much as I can.
I think we both know the basics, like spasiba, пожалуйста. But
Rakhmiadis, thank you.
one of my regrets, I wish I had actually learned the Cyrillic script before I came to Kazakhstan, because I think I would have picked up a lot more if I could read the words as I said them, and I could picture them.
So, what is your favorite word in Kazakh? Like, that you know?
Balsak.
It's hard to describe favorite. I don't know.
Vishvulak.
I feel like Rakhmiad is fun to say. I also like Okasajok. I don't, because in my notes app, I definitely did not say, I have the phonetics saying of it, so mine is probably way off from how you actually spell it. So every time I see it, it's really funny to read it, because it's definitely not even a word, but I've put random letters together.
So, do you want to come back here? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family wants to come too. And they've seen all the pictures. They want to come back in the summer. I don't know if we actually will, but I really, really hope so.
You've been here at a lot of places. What place do you like the most?
Chimbalak.
Ooh, that's a hard question.
I'm from the East Coast. Well, he thinks I'm from the East Coast, and we do not have many mountains, especially in Pennsylvania. So I love the mountains at Chimbalak.
You've tried skiing?
Yes, we did ski.
Yeah?
So I had fun with it. My host sister went skiing with us, and she liked it. So I think I got her hooked,
Oh,
which I'm
that's-
excited
that's
about.
cool.
Nice.
And even just the views, and we're going skating this week, so I'm excited for that as well. And in the summer, I would love to do the stairs. We did it in the winter.
Oh, that was tricky because they were covered with snow, right? So they're really slippery.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Ooh, I liked walking around just where the people were. So going down Arbat Street and into Zeleny Bazaar was a lot of fun, just to go shopping and see what's there.
So,
And of course, the nature, as Sammy said, is pretty incredible.
do you want to visit any other cities in Kazakhstan except Almaty and Astana?
Yeah, I would see. One of the biggest places that I would go in the summer if I came here would be the Big Almaty Lake, because we were not able to go there. I think that would be really cool. I would also like to see more of Western Kazakhstan, because we didn't see any of it.
I want to go to some of the more remote towns and understand what that's like. So many people who I've met, including my host family, come from places other than Almaty, and I would love to experience what it's like where they grew up.
So, I want to ask you last question. What do you want to say to all students or the people who are watching this?
Like maybe an advice or something.
I just want to say thank you all so much for having us and being so kind and welcoming. It really does make an impression, and how excited you are to talk to us, and you're actually trusting us and telling us your stories. it means more than you can imagine. Keep doing that. Keep being open with people. And thank you. I hope to come back and see you all soon.
Yeah, the hospitality has been like so welcoming. Like, I don't think that I will have an experience like this again. So I'm really thankful to have had this opportunity. I can't wait to go tell my friends from home about this opportunity. I can't wait to tell future students about this and see how they like ShowCon School. Hopefully, we'll have more students from MIT come.
Oh, yes.
This has been a remarkable experience, and you guys have made it what it is.
MIT студенттерімізге көп рахмет айтамыз. Бүгін біздің подкастымызда болған үшін, біздің сұрақтарымызға жауап берген үшін барлықтарыңызға рахмет. Бай-бай.
Рахмет.
Сау болыңыз.
Bonus.